I'm Trent with MKTG, and this is one of our bars for the 1942 Chevy trucks for the tour that's going to be happening this summer and beyond. So a couple pieces that you'll need to get started would be your nitrogen tank, the kegs, make sure the keg has the appropriate pin on it, and also another important piece of this keg is the sealing ring. So, once you have your pre-batch cocktail in the keg, you're going to want to get it all running so you can pour it right out of this tap, which will come disassembled with your bar. This tap will come out with 4 different screws. Underneath the screws are sets of wing nuts to correspond, and it'll take out for travel as well. So from that tap, we've got our lines to actually get the liquor out. And we'll get back to those in just a second. They're going to be labeled appropriately for whichever tap they're at. Tap 1 and tap 2. And remember, these are going to be our outlines because they're eventually going straight out. Okay, so first things first, we'll get the gas going. You're going to want to unhook all of these. Hang on to those bungees because you're going to need them for loadout. And you're also going to need a wrench. It's a crescent wrench, and most of the bars will already have them attached. Okay. So, as you're hooking this up, you're also going to want to make sure that all of your valves are closed. Closed meaning right angle to the actual piping. You're going to hand twist this quite a bit, as much as you can. And once it's to a point where you can't hand twist it anymore, you're going to give it one more twist with your crescent wrench towards you. Just so it's snug. If it's too tight, you're going to have a really tough time getting it off in the end. Next bit, you're going to get your keg, get it set up. So we're going to go with tap 1 on this, and that'll be this one, which will also be labeled. Make sure your tap lines are closed. So again, these are going to be appropriately labeled. Tap 1 out. On each keg, there is an out and an in. We're going to put this to the out. Make sure it locks in there nice and snug. You should feel the valve kind of lock in there. So also, we're going to hook in our gas. And these can be either one, just be conscious of which one you're hooking up to and that the valve is closed so that when you turn on the gas, you're not leaking gas. And again, this is nitrogen, non-flammable, totally safe. Okay, you can feel it, nice and snug. So, once we get everything going, this is going to be our pressure for, is it still going? This is going to be our pressure coming from the gas tank to the regulator, to here, and then out. Okay? So everything's on, nice and snug. Let's see where we're at with the gas. And again, the valve is closed. Give it a nice turn, make sure it's on. Alright. So now that we're up and running with this, we can open this valve. We don't hear any leaks. It's going to make a little squeal. And this one's nice and full. You can see it's going to usually be around 2,000 when it's full. Alright, so the next step will be going to the regulator. The gas is going into the regulator and then back out to here once we open this valve. But right now, the gas is at just under 20, which to do a stirred drink, you're going to want 7 psi, and for a shaken drink, you're going to do about 28. So we're going to take it down by turning this gold lever slowly. There we go. And you can push that back in, and it'll lock. So now we're going to open this valve and let the gas run into the keg. So that noise is the pressure inside the keg building and actually carbonating your beverage. We don't have a lot in here, that's probably part of the reason. So we're doing tap 1, so let's see how we did. There we go. Nice and simple. Alright, so now that you serve your cocktails, you're ready to go. Everything's nice up and running, and you're ready for loadout. Two things I should mention. This is going to be your drip pan. Each of you will have a bit of a different one. This is one we chose for this particular bar. It's going to live right underneath the drip tray, which will leak right down into it. You're going to want to clean this nice and well with Simple Green is a good solution that we have, as well as this and the keg pan, which is down here as well, or keg tub. So in disassembling all of this, the first thing I like to do is cut off the gas. So we're going to close the valves and then cut off the gas. So we're going to go from the tap back. There's 1, here's 2, and then we're going to close it. Okay. So now you still have your crescent wrench handy, and you're going to go away from you again. You went towards you in tightening it, and now you're going away. Alright, so you're going to hear a little bit of a gas little leak. It's just a little extra gas that's escaping. You'll be alright. Make sure you're not holding this by the gauges. Make sure you're holding it more at the hardware so you're not bending any of those gauges. And in order to change the amount of gas that's coming from this out to the regulator, you're going to want to turn this around. Alright, so that's unhooked. Our gas is good to go. We can get that refilled if we need. Next step will be the keg. So you can just go ahead and unhook these. And after you get everything is said and done, you're going to want to soak these so that these don't rust over. They'll gunk up and get really difficult to use for your next time. So here's your release valve again. Let out the gas. Make sure you're unhooked from the gas before you do that, or it'll just steal gas straight from the tank. Okay? There you go. That's all good. And the next step would be filling this puppy with water a few times over, washing the walls, adding cleaning solution, which you'll be provided, and we have actually more detailed instructions on that, and then running it through the lines. But make sure you refer to the bar manual for that. You're going to want to get this all packed up the way we started, and obviously after you clean it all, the way we've been working it is looping all these together, hooking it onto the regulators, and bungeeing it back together. Okay, once you have it all bungeed with all 4 or however many bungees you have, you're going to want to unhook this as well. So when this comes up, the piping will come with it. You can wrap it around it, just don't put too much strain on the end piece. And keep those nuts, those wing nuts, in a bag along with it. I like to tape it to it with masking tape, just so you have it, or rubber band it, and you're good to go. You're going to load it into the truck and make sure you don't scratch the bed. Yep, thanks.